Hello VC, what's going on? It's me, Will, and I'm back with my yearly Record Store Day video. First of all, I hope everybody had a great Record Store Day yesterday. I definitely did. There were a lot of things that I wanted to get from this year's list of RSD releases. Lots of really good stuff, at least for me. Fortunately, I was able to pick up everything that I really wanted on my list. But it did take two different visits to two different record stores in order to be able to get everything that I really wanted. But at the end of the day, I was able to pick up really everything from my list. So I was very happy about that. As usual, I went to Criminal Records in the morning. I lined up early in the morning, about 6:30 or 7, and the store opened at 9. The line wasn't really as bad compared to other years, so I was happy about that too. And Criminal Records is one of or probably the biggest record store in Atlanta. So really, if you're looking for something that is somehow rare or kind of hard to find, Criminal Records is really your best bet, at least in the city. Yeah, I went there in the morning. These guys have a Record Store Day up to a science by now. They really know how to let people in to get the records. They really do a fantastic job. So if you're ever in Atlanta and during Record Store Day, I highly suggest, or I recommend, that you go to Criminal Records. And then in the afternoon, I went to Compact Vinyl to pick up a couple more things that I missed from my list. So yeah, let's go ahead and check out my haul for this year's Record Store Day, and let's start off with some of the free stuff that they gave out to the first few people that lined up outside Criminal Records. And they gave away this nice little record bag from Criminal Records in Atlanta. A really nice record bag. And they also gave away some really cool t-shirts, Record Store Day t-shirts with artwork from a local artist called Our Land. I got a couple of his other t-shirts that he has done for Record Store Day as well. This one's really cool. Fun artwork from RSD. And they also gave away a little poster from Dogfish Head Beer. I also have the one from last year. Really kind of like a trippy kind of poster that they do for the official beer of Record Store Day. And I tried to frame this one too, and frame it and hang it next to the one from last year to see how that looks. But yeah, those are just a few things that I got for free at Criminal Records. Let's go ahead and start off with the records themselves. And all of this were in the list of Record Store Day, so they're either RSD exclusive or RSD first time or first releases. And let's start off with Courtney Barnett. She released her newest single at RSD 2019, and this one's called Everybody Here Hates You. A really kind of depressing song title from Courtney Barnett. But the song is actually, the music itself is really upbeat, a very Courtney Barnett-like song. Yeah, this one was a 12-inch single. It was just released. The song came out just a few weeks ago in 2019 on Mom and Pop Records. And as you know, Courtney Barnett, a singer-songwriter from Australia. I'm a huge fan of her, so I had to pick this one up. I also picked up the one that she released last Record Store Day. I think it was during Black Friday. It was really good as well. But she seems to like the 12-inch format a lot. She released that one from last year too in a 12-inch record. I'm not sure if this single needs to be on 12-inch. It's one song per side on black vinyl, and there's the labels. But again, it's one song per side, and the songs are not really that long either. So this record could have easily been a 7-inch record. I don't see how it needed to be a 12-inch, but either way, it's nice to add it to my collection. It wasn't too expensive. It was only $14, but again, this should have been really a 7-inch. The music is excellent. Everything that you would expect from Courtney Barnett. Really catchy. The lyrics are really funny as well. A little bit of humor, a little bit of irony or sarcasm. Both songs, side A and side B, are very similar, and they're really, really catchy. Highly recommend to check out this song from Courtney Barnett. And this one was limited to 2,000 copies, so you might be able to still find some out there. So yeah, that's Courtney Barnett with Everybody Here Hates You. All right, up next, a couple of full-length albums from Frank Black, of course, the lead singer of the Pixies. He released a couple of albums on Record Store Day. First time US vinyl pressing, so I guess they were released on vinyl in Europe or in the UK, just not in the US. And this one is his self-titled album that came out originally in 1993. This one was reissued by 4AD, for Record Store Day. And there's the back. This one wasn't too expensive either. It was $21. And it has a hype sticker that says Frank Black's debut solo album, first US vinyl pressing for RSD 2019. And it did come in on color vinyl. No downloads in any of these records. Here's the inside sleeve. Some funny pictures of Frank. And this one came in on really cool looking orange vinyl with the custom labels. I really like the labels on this side because when it's spinning you can see Frank kind of like dancing around. Really cool labels on this one. And yeah, I did not own this record on vinyl or on CD in the past, which I was kind of surprised because I'm a big fan of Frank Black from the Pixies, and his solo stuff is really good as well. I just did not own this one, so I was glad to pick this one up on Record Store Day. This being his very first solo album, it was very reminiscent to the music of the Pixies, especially of the Trompe Le Monde album. And there's a lot of songs that sound in that kind of same kind of style of Trompe Le Monde by the Pixies. So yeah, I'm glad to add it to my collection. Frank Black with his first solo album. And the second one was also released on Record Store Day. The second solo album by Frank Black. This one's, I think a lot of people know this one. This one is one of his most famous albums as a solo artist. Teenager of the Year. This one came out originally in 1993, also on 4AD Records. And sorry, this one came out in 1994 on 4AD. And this one was limited to 4,500 copies, and the one that I showed you before was also limited to 4,500 copies. So you might still be able to find some of them out there in the wild. This one was a little bit more expensive. This one was $26, but it's a double LP. Lots of songs on this one. 22 songs total on this record, so they definitely had to put it out on a double LP. The pressing and the sound on these two releases and this one and the self-titled album are excellent. Super quiet records, and just the quality of the pressing and the mastering is really good on this one. I have had this record on CD for a long time. It might be, I think it is my favorite Frank Black album. In fact, might be one of my favorite albums of the whole decade of the 1990s. It's an excellent record, nearly a perfect record. All the songs are really, really good on this one, and that's a lot to say because there's a lot of tracks. There's 22 tracks overall in this record. Again, on double LP, came in with a couple of inner sleeves, a black and a white one. Both on color vinyl, on white vinyl, with custom labels. And here's the second LP also on white vinyl with another picture of Frank there from the Teenager of the Year era of Frank Black. Alright, so up next, and if you watch my videos you know for sure that I had to pick this one up. This one was a no-brainer for me. Had to pick up the newest album or live album from Green Day. This one's Woodstock 1994. This is a live recording from when they played at Woodstock back in 1994. This is that very infamous show where Green Day, the band's members, got in a mud fight with the audience, and a really famous show. You can watch it on YouTube. The recording of this has been around in the internet for a long time, so I have listened to this one in the past, just not as an official release. The first time released on either on vinyl or on CD. And here's the track list in the back. And I really like what they did here in the artwork, where they just grabbed the cover from Dookie and then they just messed around with some duct tape, Sharpie, and some mud apparently to put in the to decorate it, kind of like for the Woodstock release or the live version or the live album of Woodstock 1994. It does have 10 songs, even though the last song in side B is called Shit Show, which I assume is when the band got in the mud fight with the audience. I have not listened to this one yet, but I have listened to other versions on digitally before, and again, it's available on YouTube in case you want to check it out. And this one was limited to 6,800 copies, so I'm sure you'll still be able to find this one out there in the wild. There's plenty of copies out there. And this one came in on black vinyl. Not much as far as artwork inside the record itself. Standard black vinyl with the custom labels. If you're a fan of Green Day, if you're a fan of punk rock, check out this live record. Alright, up next, I was really not looking to buy this one for sure when I went out to Record Store Day, when I went to the record store. But once I was there and I actually found it, I actually ended up going with it because it just looked really good. This is the XRay Spex with I Am a Cliché. And this one is a new compilation of the band, and that was released this year in 2019 for Record Store Day by BMG Records. And again, I wasn't really looking to buy it because it was just so limited. I was actually very surprised that I saw it at the record store. It's limited to only 500 copies, so I was really surprised that I still saw it at the record store. And there was only one copy left, so I, of course, went ahead and picked it up. The classic punk rock band, XRay Spex. Mostly known because of their song Oh Bondage Up Yours. It's a very famous punk rock song. Again, this is a new compilation. It's on a double LP. The first LP is kind of like a greatest hits record, and the second LP is a live recording from when they played at the Roxy in London. So it was a little bit expensive, $35 for a record, but considering that it's almost two records in itself, I wasn't too upset about paying $35. So yeah, I have opened this one before I started filming, but I have not played it yet. It does come in with a nice gatefold with cool pictures of Polly, the lead singer of the band. And here's the back with all the track lists for the two records. And again, I have opened the shrink wrap, but I have not seen the inside yet. So this is the first time that I actually see the artwork and the inside of it. Comes in with a nice insert, kind of like a mini poster of XRay Spex, and it does say I Am a Cliché, and of course their classic song All Bondage Up Yours. It's very similar to the artwork for their single of All Bondage Up Yours. Here's the inner sleeve for the record number 1. A couple more pictures of Polly. And this one's supposed to come with some really cool color vinyl. Let's go ahead and check it out. Really nice pink, really bright. I don't know if you can see it very well in the camera there, but really bright pink vinyl on this record, on the first LP. I Am a Cliché. This is kind of like a greatest hits compilation record. And the second record should come in a different color if I read it correctly in the hype sticker. Let's check it out. The second inner sleeve with the credits and some additional artwork. Looks like some lyrics for the song I Am a Cliché, and upside down is the lyrics for the aforementioned Oh Bondage Up Yours. And this one comes in also in really bright, kind of like a neon color vinyl, green, bright green vinyl with the pink labels. Really cool looking records. Really look forward to spinning this one. I'm probably gonna spin it tonight. Alright, the last LP or full-length album that I picked up on Record Store Day is of course the Ramones. This is the Ramones Live at the Palladium from the 1979 New Year's Eve. So it was recorded in 1979, 1980 I guess. And no surprises here. And the Ramones have been, the Ramones state has been releasing so many of their live recordings in the last few years. Pretty much in every Record Store Day in the last few years they have released something. But this one looks a little bit unique in the way that the artwork is kind of different to the other ones. They used the flyer from the show, I guess, the original show. It's really cool looking with a nice cartoon of Joey Ramone. And the hype sticker says double LP available on vinyl for the very first time. Entire 1979 New Year's Eve concert mixed by Ed Station. Audio source from Tommy Ramone's original cassette of the console recording. It does have a disclaimer here in the back that says that there are some imperfections about the recording, especially in the very beginning of the recording or at the beginning of the show. But they tried to fix it a little bit, but I would be surprised if it's a bad recording. I don't think all the live recordings from the Ramones they have released in the last few years have been really good. A lot of songs from the, Road to Ruin era of the Ramones, if I'm not mistaken. And what's kind of unique about this one, this is at least the first one that I've seen so far, at least from the last few releases, that includes Marky Ramone on drums. And this is the era of the Ramones where Marky took over the drums from Tommy. Tommy wanted to be more of a producer. In fact, she actually recorded the whole show of this show in New Year's in New York. Live at the Palladium, again, Ramones live. And I have not opened this one. This one's limited to 8,500 copies, so again, I'm sure you'll be able to find this one in case you haven't. I got the numbered edition, or numbered 3316. Right, those are all the full-length albums that I picked up on this year's Record Store Day. As you know, as you can see, more than I usually pick up on Record Store Day. I did pick up a couple of singles. I picked this one up for my girlfriend because she's a huge fan of Lord Huron. This one's called The Night We Met. And this one's featuring Phoebe Bridgers, of course. I just saw her live, and she's playing now for a band called Better Oblivion Community Center. A great band that she joined with Conor Oberst. And Lord Huron is a great band. I have seen them live a couple of times, and I haven't opened this one, I haven't listened to it, but I'm sure it's going to be really good. Record Store Day exclusive, again, Lord Huron. Alright, the last few items that I picked up on Record Store Day are a couple of the 3-inch singles that they released, especially for this edition of Record Store Day. When I went to Criminal Records in the morning, I wanted to pick up this too. I wanted to pick up the Foo Fighters with Big Me and the Epitaph 3-inch single from a couple of or 4 different bands. But the only way to get them were if you bought the little turntables, like the mini RSD turntable that only plays these 3-inch records. And I did not want to spend $80 on a turntable that I'm just going to use to spin these little tiny records, which I don't think the sound quality is going to be very good either. So I ended up skipping that one. I went and when I went in the afternoon to the other record store to Comeback Vinyl, they actually have this two left. They only had this two, and they did sell them individually. They were a little bit on the expensive side, $11 each. But I just wanted to buy it just for the novelty. I do like the Foo Fighters. I really like this song, so I ended up picking this one. And I was just glad that I didn't have to buy the turntable itself to get this one. So how this works is Epitaph released a special kind of like 3-inch single, and one of this one contains a single by, it could be either any of these bands, these 4 bands. So I'm really hoping to get at least something by either Bad Religion, Rancid, or the Interrupters. I'm not sure that much about Culture Abuse, but if it's on Epitaph, I'm sure it's going to be great anyways. Again, $11 for this one too, so a little bit on the expensive side, but I just bought it for the novelty itself of having brand new 3-inch records. So yeah, I haven't opened this one. I actually do not know yet if they're gonna play like on a standard turntable. I know that they will play on the RSD Mini, the little turntables that they sold yesterday, but even if they don't, I don't really care that much, and I'm opening it right now for the first time. I do not know how this ones look like. I'm trying to keep the sticker that they used to cover the record itself. So I'm trying to pull it out kind of carefully. But yeah, again, if you guys know much about these singles, I would appreciate if you let me know here in the comments, because I don't know if they're gonna play in my standard turntable. Here it is, the sticker is out. Again, this is the Foo Fighters with Big Me. Tiny record. It does have like a little plastic sleeve that they used to cover it. And here it is. It looks like it has a couple of different things inside. This one is like a little mini poster. And it says Foo Fighters, Big Me, the artwork from the single. Pretty cool single, pretty cool artwork for this one. And then here's the record itself. This is a lot smaller than I thought it would be. In the back you get a picture of Richard Nixon bowling. Kind of weird, but yeah, one song in this one. Of course, the famous Big Me song is the first single by the Foo Fighters. And there it is. This thing is tiny. It's much smaller than a CD, and I don't know if you can tell there, but it's really small. I can just assume that it's going to be really compressed sound on this one. I cannot say that it's going to be as good sound as in a 7-inch or in a 12-inch record. Probably not. But again, I just bought it for the novelty, just to have it, and there's nothing here on the other side. And the last one, the sampler or the mystery item from Epitaph Records. So let's see which one I get, because I'm really curious. I've been curious since yesterday to see which one I got here in this one. And there it is. Let's see what I get. And indeed, knowing my luck, I did get the Culture Abuse single. Okay, I'm okay with that, even though I don't know much or anything about this band. I'm sure it's gonna be really good, especially since they are on Epitaph Records. There's really no problem with that. That label is really excellent, especially for punk rock music. And similar to the one from the Foo Fighters, it comes in with a little inner sleeve, or like an insert with a poster of Epitaph Records in one side, and actually Epitaph Records on both sides. I really like this picture right here. Really 90s looking artwork here on Epitaph Records poster. And here's the single, again, Culture Abuse with Bay Dream, or yeah, Bay Dream. Actually here in the back says Dip, so I'm not really sure what this song is. I think it's called Dip, and maybe the album is called Bay Dream. Again, I don't know much about this band. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research on this one. And Epitaph labels on the 3-inch record. I'm still surprised on how small this thing is. It's kind of cool to hold in your hands. It really looks like a miniature, well, it is a miniature record. But that's it, guys. I hope everybody again had a great record store day. That's all I picked up from 2019 version of Record Store Day. I was really happy with my haul because I really was able to find everything. But I'm still catching up with some of your videos. I've been really enjoying to see what you guys picked up on RSD. Again, thank you for watching and have a good day. Bye bye.